Call of Duty Black Ops 4 G.K.S. weapon review. Anyway, the G.K.S. submachine gun is by far my favorite submachine gun so far. I have not unlocked every single one yet, but this one is pretty promising. Mostly because it's reliable. It's kind of like the ICR, only that you have to unlock it. And also that it might be a little bit weird to use at times. First is the damage. It's not too bad and not too crazy for a submachine gun. It's less than the MX. It's less than the MX9, which is the very first submachine gun you get, and a little bit more than, let's say, the Spitfire, which is the bullet hose of SMGs. Then you have range, which by far this weapon has a lot of range compared to all the other SMGs. Anyway, then you have the fire rate of this thing, which is pretty moderate for an SMG. It's a little bit faster than the MX9, which is the first SMG you get, and, well, we all know it's slower than the Spitfire because, well, it's the fastest. And, anyway, the accuracy is also pretty cool because basically the recoil pattern on this is pretty much straight up and down, to the point where you can barely even need to control it. It's like the ICR of SMGs. And anyway, the ammunition that you get with this thing is pretty cool. You have 3 mags for this weapon without crash, and you have 38 rounds in the mag, and if you have extended mags, then you have just add 18 more rounds to the original 38, which overall is a lot of ammunition. Anyway, other than that, what I'm running with on the attachment side of things is quick draw and long barrel. Well, most of the time. Sometimes I equip the grip, sometimes I equip the extended mags, sometimes I equip the suppressor. I've used the suppressor a little bit. It's pretty cool for like flanking and whatnot, but it's not all too useful when it comes to actually engaging somebody in a fight. Other than that, I'd say the other attachments, at least just looking at the stats of what those attachments do to your weapon, like long barrel 2, it adds just a little bit more range, but it does waste a little bit of space on the weapon slots. Then you have grip 2, which I'm not really sure you really need, because this weapon already has very good stability. Like, sometimes I add the grip just because to mess around with it, like in this review that I did. Anyway, the grip, I'm not really sure you really need to use a grip on this thing. It's already very stable on its own, like the ICR. But anyway, then you have the operator mod, which is pretty cool because it's quad shot. Basically, it turns this thing into a 4-round burst SMG, like we've seen in other similar games. Which basically, with the rate of fire of this weapon is pretty cool because it'll shoot very fast. It's an SMG, what do you expect? But other than that, it also gives you a little bit more damage range, so you can shoot a little bit farther and keep that time to kill consistent, which I'd say is a very good operator mod to get into, even though it might take away a few perks or whatnot. And I'd say this weapon is pretty cool in my opinion. And as for Blackout, I'm not really sure about it, because there's other alternatives out there, like assault rifles are the thing, especially tactical ones, in Blackout, so I'm kind of iffy about it.